Beginning English Class, Lesson 97. Welcome to my Beginning English as a Second Language class. This is Lesson 97 in an ongoing ESL class that I teach at Mount Hood Community College in Gresham, Oregon. Thank you for watching. Verb to be. Past, was or were. Present, am, are, is. Future, going to be and will be. The past participle is been. Verbs, to be, to live. Past continuous, I was living in Portland last year. Present continuous, I am living in Portland. Present perfect continuous tense. Have or has plus been plus the continuous form of the verb. Present perfect continuous tense. I have been living in Portland for 1 year. He has been living in Portland for 1 year. The red arrow points to the answer. What's the question? Past continuous. Who was living in Portland last year? Where were you living last year? When were you living in Portland? Present continuous. Who is living in Portland? Where are you living? Present perfect continuous. Who has been living in Portland for 1 year? Where have you been living for 1 year? How long have you been living in Portland? Who has been living in Portland for 1 year? Where has he been living for 1 year? How long has he been living in Portland? He has been living in Portland for 1 year. Who has been living in Portland for 1 year? He has. Who has been living in Portland for 1 year? He has. Where has he been living for 1 year? He has been living in Portland. Where has he been living for 1 year? How long has he been living in Portland? He has been living in Portland for 1 year. How long has he been living in Portland? Yes, he has. Has he been living in Portland for 1 year? Has he been living in Portland for 2 years? No, he has not. No, he hasn't. She has been living in Portland for 30 years. Who has been living in Portland for 30 years? She has. Who has been living in Portland for 30 years? Where has she been living for 30 years? She has been living in Portland. Where has she been living for 30 years? How long has she been living in Portland? She has been living in Portland for 30 years. How long has she been living in Portland? How many years has she been living in Portland? Yes, she has. Has she been living in Portland for 30 years? Has she been living in Portland for 2 years? No, she has not. No, she hasn't. I have been living in Portland for 30 years. Who has been living in Portland for 30 years? I have. Who has been living in Portland for 30 years? Where have you been living for 30 years? I've been living in Portland. Where have you been living for 30 years? How long have you been living in Portland? How many years have you been living in Portland? I have been living in Portland for 30 years. How long have you been living in Portland? How many years have you been living in Portland? Yes, I have. Have you been living in Portland for 30 years? Have you been living in Portland for 2 years? No, I have not. No, I haven't. Verbs: to be, to read. Present continuous: they are reading in the living room. 1 hour ago. Past continuous: they were reading in the living room 1 hour ago. Present perfect continuous tense: have or has plus been plus the ing form of the verb. They have been reading in the living room for 1 hour. Present perfect continuous tense. Past continuous: Who was reading in the living room 1 hour ago? Where were they reading 1 hour ago? When were they reading in the living room? Present continuous. Who is reading in the living room? Where are they reading? Present perfect continuous. Who has been reading in the living room for 1 hour? Where have they been reading for 1 hour? How long have they been reading in the living room? They have been reading in the living room for 1 hour. Who has been reading in the living room for 1 hour? They have. Who has been reading in the living room? Where have they been reading for 1 hour? They have been reading in the living room. Where have they been reading? How long have they been reading in the living room? They have been reading for 1 hour. How long have they been reading in the living room? Yes, they have. Have they been reading for 1 hour? Have they been reading for 2 hours? No, they have not. No, they haven't. We have been walking in the park for 1 hour. Who has been walking in the park for 1 hour? We have. Who has been walking in the park? Where have we been walking for 1 hour? We have been walking in the park. Where have we been walking? How long have we been walking in the park? We have been walking for 1 hour. How long have we been walking in the park? Yes, we have. Have we been walking in the park? Have we been walking for 2 hours? No, we have not. No, we haven't. Verb: skate, skating, skated. What are they going to be doing in a few minutes? They're going to be skating at the ice rink in a few minutes. Who's going to be skating at the ice rink in a few minutes? Where are they going to be skating in a few minutes? When are they going to be skating at the ice rink? What are they doing? They are skating at the ice rink in Portland. Who is skating at the ice rink in Portland? Where are they skating in Portland? Where are they skating at the ice rink? What ice rink are they skating at? The ice rink in Portland. The Portland ice rink. Verb: pick, picking, picked. What is he going to be doing in a few minutes? He is going to be picking flowers in a few minutes. Verb: smell, smelling, smelled. What is he doing? He is smelling the flowers. What did he do? He picked the flowers. Who's going to be picking flowers in a few minutes? What is he going to be picking in a few minutes? When is he going to be picking flowers? Who is smelling the flowers? What is he smelling? Who picked the flowers? What did he pick? Verb: sting, stinging, stung. What is going to happen? The bee is going to be stinging him. What is going to be stinging him? What is the bee going to be doing? Who is the bee going to be stinging? This is the end of Beginning English Class Lesson 97. Thank you for watching.